Okay, good morning. This is
Hey,
Tim Downs from Vision Delivery. And Tim, understand that you have some other business as well. So first of all, tell me who you are.
yeah,
Tell me in your own words what you actually do and how long you've been doing it for.
okay. All right, I will. Um, I've managed a number of businesses in my career. I spent a large part of my time running a business that sold eyewear, optical frames and sunglasses into the retail outlets. We spent about 18 years doing that and built it up from a complete startup to the end where we were turning over about 30 million. Subsequent to that, I bought a little business in Kent. That was a business that specialized in supplying retailers and restaurants with specialist IT, touchscreen monitors, receipt printers, etc. And that business I bought and then sold again about 2 years later. We hit a bit of a purple patch with it and were very successful, and a big trade investor came along and bought it. So that was a very happy and successful story. Alongside of that, I have done quite a lot of consulting work for people, businesses wanting to do things, wanting to get their business from one place to another, and I help them achieve that with some of the skills I've developed over the years. A lot of those are financial. I am originally an accountant, and that has always served me very well in that mission. My most recent project was a business in Kent, actually, that had come through the lockdown periods very successfully trading online, and suddenly found coming out of lockdown that the landscape had changed quite a lot and that the business model needed to be changed quite a lot. And it found it was losing money as a result of that. So we were able, over a 3 or 4 month period, to change that business model and get it back to profitability, which the owner was very happy about. So I'm currently, most of my projects are around online businesses because that's where there's a lot of change currently, I think. I have another one that is selling reading glasses online, and that is growing quite nicely. And we're looking to change that model a little bit there so that it can grow even faster. So that's my consulting activity. I have more recently set up a new business, an online furniture business called Design in the Sand. I'm just going through the process of making that work, ensuring that my Google activity is doing the best for it, and ensuring that some of my social media activity is working for it as well. So those are the things I get involved in.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah, but that's great. And you something that you said at struck a chord was you were saying how the online business is changing, is evolving as well. So what would you say has been your main challenges and issues that you may have occurred, in your journey as a business leader in both businesses there?
More recently, you mean, with the online businesses?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think consumer activity is changing, and I think we saw or have seen most recently that as we've come out of the lockdown periods, the consumer is now enjoying the freedom to be able to go out and shop. And certainly I know there's a lot of talk about the online traders in certain sectors being 30 or 40% down, which is causing them problems. Furniture particularly has never had a huge share of the online, the online suppliers have never had a huge share of the furniture business. People do, I think, like to go and see that and feel it and touch it. And that I think that the retailers online of furniture need to just be able to communicate the quality of their product much more effectively using photography and imagery, which
Yeah.
is what I'm currently working on, actually.
Okay, great. And out of those challenges, what would you say is maybe your one or two actions that you have taken, or what has been your learnings from these challenges there? What's been your biggest learnings?
Well, I think as ever, businesses need to recognize that the landscape is forever changing, and trying to track that and trying to watch and see and ensure that the business is reacting appropriately to that ever-changing landscape. I think that's a challenge for all of us in business.
Sure. And with I guess when COVID, and I think we're just starting to come out of it, but how did COVID-19 impact your business?
I think for my consultancy business, it meant there were far fewer projects around, because I think the need was very much to run a business to cope with the lockdowns and all of the problems that brought along. As we're coming out of it, it's presented opportunities, one of which I mentioned a little bit earlier, and there are others too. I think we are beginning to understand what the new normal is. Of course, we're currently being faced with all sorts of other challenges and problems, but I think we can see those as more normal than the COVID lockdown period.
I see. That's good. And what would you say? I mean, you talk about these challenges there. What have you, or measures will you put in place so far to help overcome these business challenges that you have?
I think, I mean, every situation is different, isn't it? But it's often about a head-to-toe review of the business. What can we do better? What can we do to offer more product? What can we do to improve our margin? What can we do to improve our sales? What can we do to reduce our costs? With the very straightforward objective of improving the bottom line, increasing the beans, as I like to say.
Yeah. Is that one of your favorite quotes?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have any other quotes your favorite quotes that you use?
Well, we bean counters have lots of those, really, don't we? But not that are coming to mind at the moment, I'm afraid.
Nothing comes to mind. And I guess as a business leader yourself there, Tim, what have you learned about yourself, as a person, running your own businesses?
Yeah, I think it's crucial when you're running a business, when you're part of any team. I think it's crucial to recognize what your own strengths and weaknesses are. And I know that I'm extremely analytical. I understand the numbers are always important to me. And it's always important for me in business to surround myself with people that are stronger in some of the more sensitive skills, selling skills, and product skills, and visual skills, I guess.
That's good. And with that being said, who's your biggest customer? Who's your greatest customer that you have at the moment? Your best customer?
Well, probably, it would be wrong and unfair of me to name anybody, but my biggest customer at the moment is the online business that I've been working with to change their fortunes in terms of profitability. It's my two big ones are both online customers, actually, where there's a lot of change currently, and a lot of development.
Yeah, and how about your furniture business as well? I know you mentioned that as well, and so and how's the running of your furniture business? How's that going for you at the moment?
Yeah, it's very, very early days, to be honest with you, Charles, and at the moment it's all about creating the website, getting the photography right, getting the imagery right, and getting the product right. So it's developmental. Our sales are very, very early days and few and far between, because we're not yet investing heavily in the marketing activity. But it's a fledgling business based on providing creative product and innovative product. So we have great hopes for it.
That's good and good. And speaking of hope, what is most inspiring you today, Tim?
Oh, today, what is inspiring me? What am I aspiring to today?
Or what is most inspiring you to today? I mean, what has been really like, okay, it's been like your sweet spot. It's really inspiring. It's motivated you to keep going and keep moving as a business leader.
No, yes, that's interesting. It doesn't take much to motivate me, I must say. I get up in the morning and yeah, once I'm up, I'm ready to go and moving. I think there's a great many difficulties in the world at the moment, but there's no point in taking any notice of that. You can only work on the positive things and make those happen, can't you?
Yeah, because it's like what gets you out of bed? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, okay. Well, to be fair, I love business. I love people. I love working in teams, and I love working with people. And I think that's what motivates me always, is finding people I enjoy working with and getting on with it.
That's so good.
Team
And
spirit.
what advice would you give to, let's say, 18-year-old who wanted to start their own business? What advice would you give to them?
Make sure it's something that you are passionate about and enjoy. Don't try just creating a business for the sake of creating a business. Look for what you enjoy and do something with that.
That's good. That's good. And what would you say, if you had to start all over again, what would you do differently if you had started?
Oh,
yes.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. There's no point in thinking about that. We are where we are. And, if you change one little thing in your past, who knows where that would have led you to anyway. So no, nothing.
Nothing. Okay, that's great. That's so enjoyable.